All right. Good morning, Warriors. How is it going? Glad to hear it. So I'm going to break down our business plan that I like to do for our new agents. So we're growing so quickly, I figure just make a mass one for everyone to kind of watch and use for themselves. Kind of build a business moving forward. Hope your team as well do the same thing. This business plan will help you get to 6 figures or more in the fast amount of time. And it's been 1 month since my 1 year anniversary, not even a month yet. I have $2.5 million on the contract, plus a $15 million commercial building as well. So you can see that this business plan will work for you as quickly as possible. And it's going to be your road to success. So if you guys are excited for this, let me get some yeses down below in the chat box. We'll get that started for you guys. And then if you guys are new to who I am, since we're all going so quickly, I reached around 2 million people in the past few years, about 300K a month. Had a house under contract in less than an hour for 20K before the crazy sellers market. And also just sold a house last week for 150K over asking price within 2 days of listing it. Around 10 leads a month, teams now in 16 states and 3 countries, and published 2 books. Reached a lot of people. You can see men and I are both one of the top 2% agents in the whole company, top 0.03% for growth rate. And our team's growing with you guys like wildfire. And this is how you also retire in 1 year by being in the company. So our passive income through EXP pays for our entire life. So it's 1 year to do that. And you guys can do it even faster. And my goal for you is to have true freedom and time freedom within 1 to 3 years of joining us. And now I understand how to do this better. I can make that happen for you even faster. Again, if you guys feel like I'm just a freak of nature and I'm able to do this because I just have all the right stuff, that's not the case. I was homeless off and on from 12 to 18. Like I had no direction. Teacher told me I would never push a cart for a living. I was probably the least likely to succeed. I was in high school. And now I have been able to be a pretty big success. Had a 4.0 GPA in college with a full ride, all honors classes, tutored all my peers. And I left college actually as a full ride to come to real estate and EXP, my marketing business, despite all that. But I have invested over 1,000 hours learning about marketing, technology, and so forth. And over 6 figures to do this. And now I'm gonna give you guys the shortcut so you can expedite that process without spending thousands of hours and a lot of money to do that. And again, as you guys know, I think it all starts with SMART goals. So who right now wants to sell their SMART goal before we move on? Any goals you guys have for the next 12 months? There's no goal too small.
Trying to make $250,000.
I love it. And broken down to a SMART goal, what does that look like for you, Derek?
I would like to make $250,000 in the next 12 months.
And then how will you get there?
By a combination of prospecting in different ways, and holding myself accountable to my numbers every week.
I love it. I love it. It's all about numbers, all about being accountable. And the good thing about us, you guys being accountability partners, we're all one team here. So they definitely tap into other people in here and even call, text, or email or message other people in the group to have that relationship with you. So SMART goals is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And I believe it's all about having a set goal, making a plan, and getting to work, sticking to it to reach that goal. And the reason why I'm able to do what I'm doing now, because this is what I did. I turned my whole life around by having a specific goal in mind, and it all starts with you. And you guys got this. You're warriors. And I believe in each and every one of you. And there's 3 kind of agents in EXP. Agent 1 will just sell homes. That's all they do, which is totally fine. 95% of the company, that's what they do as well. Yeah, people who are hybrid, which is like who I am, I sell homes plus I do team building. And I'm trying to actually leave doing real estate to just do team building because it's a bigger payoff. And also to me, it's more impactful to people. And there's the people who are like Melanie, who are all about team building. That's all she does. So you're making these smart goals we have in mind. You want to distinguish who are you? And actually on that point, type in either 1, 2, or 3 in the chat box. Who are you? Are you number 1 who just does real estate? Number 2 who just does a hybrid? Or number 3 who's a full-on team builder? Let's see some numbers. We got 1 number so far. So that's 2, 1. 1 plus 2, so 2. A pretty good combination of people. And don't feel like you're stuck in one spot. It can always change as you go along. When I first started off, I was a 1. All I did was real estate. And then I did hybrid. And then for 9 months, I just did team building. And now I'm at hybrid again. Now to 3 again. So I flip-flop a lot. But I think coming after my next closings, I'll probably just be doing number 3. So good combinations, a lot of 2s, a lot of 3s, a couple 1s. So first one, for making a smart goal. Let's say you're a real estate person. So your transaction will be 40 deals and a thing called the law of averages. For law of averages, you do 40 deals, you need to talk to 400 appointments to every 10%. But to have these 400 appointments, you need to have 4,000 meetings. Talking to people about real estate in some degree of fashion, either in person or in social media, advertising, the whole 9 yards. And by doing this, it should equate to 40 deals, if not more. Now, in Texas, average house is like $400,000-$500,000, probably a bit more now. But if you do 40 deals, that's $400,000. So for you there making 250, you aim for this 40 people, 400 people, so forth to meet that goal. And to make it even better for you, I know you guys probably think this is a big number, which it is. 4,000 people to meet is a lot. So we divide 4,000 by 365. That is only 11 people a day we should talk to. So 11 conversations a day for the whole year should equate to you having 40 transactions done or 40 people you're helping. Now, you're a person like Melanie or myself, or 2 or 3, this is your partners, building up your team. Same numbers, 40 partners equal around 400 appointments, which is around 4,000 meetings, and 11 people a day. To me, this is priceless. I think this is worth way more than doing 40 deals because those deals is active income. So when I do that transaction, I'm back at square one. I just find myself by doing a good job. For team building, you do it one time and it's built forever. It will never get smaller for the most part, and always get bigger. And what's even more important is you're hoping to change the life of your partners as well. I do think real estate purchasing is the biggest purchase out there and does change life. Being homeless off and on, I have a huge attachment to real estate. But also that, I have a huge attachment to freedom. And I know team building, you can help other people have freedom as well to buy their own houses and stuff like that. And it's also this business on top of itself moving forward. Now, the next step of this thing is make sure you have good time blocking. Because having just a good plan is only part of it. That's specific. Now we make sure it's timely as well. And I think this is also realistic. People can do this. There's people who are doing 190 people in 1 year. People are doing 10 people in 1 year. So doing this is super, super doable. Now for time blocking, how many of you guys right now do time blocking? So one person is time blocking. So 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Awesome. And then what are your thoughts on time blocking? You guys understand the concept of time blocking? Does someone want to give me an example of what time blocking is? Awesome. April, you want to give me an example of what time blocking is?
Yes. Basically, when I time block, I pretty much put in the hours, the date, and the time on each activity that I'll be doing. And I normally do it throughout the entire week. I've been time blocking for a while because I have to do it with my 9 to 5. So I just added my real estate on with it. And it kind of works out. Like I said, it works as long as you follow it, because I have a time blocker that sends me email blasts just to make sure that I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, when I put it in, it'll remind me, it reminds me. So as long as you follow it, it'll work.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Thank you, April, for your explanation. So here's how I do my time blocking. Make it a little easy for you guys. I'm a workaholic. So pre-context, if you guys don't want to be workaholics, just adjust the hours to yourself. I like working from when I wake up until I go to sleep, because it's my hobby. It's fun to me. But if you're up at 5 o'clock, just plug into the same schedule. For me, from 5 o'clock until 8 o'clock, it's just me time. It's me and Melanie, me and my dog Lucky, working out, reading books, kind of meditating, getting our mind right for the day, making sure we're setting the mood for that activity. Then the most important job after that one is me prospecting. I do this from 8 o'clock until noon. Every single day, we should be prospecting to some degree. This could be networking and in-person events. This could be having happy hours with people, probably not drinking at this hour though. This could be doing social media marketing, advertising, so forth, cold calling, door knocking. What you want to do, there's all different things you can use for your prospecting. And also on that point too, is I have my top 3 to 5 things on this calendar as well to make sure it's what I'm focusing on. So for me today, my top things was having this mastermind, helping my closing get underway, and also doing some team calls with people. My top 3 to 5 things and a couple of reminders. And what the hard thing to do is you do that first. For your prospecting, call the hardest client first, or do the hardest activity for your prospecting first. After that, from 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock is your follow through. If you guys read the book by Ryan Serhant, you probably have seen a similarity here, what I'm talking about on my system. So follow back, follow through, and so forth. This is a great book. He's one of the top agents across the globe, across America at least. So you can learn a lot from him. But follow through is actually doing the deep work. It's selling houses, it's running comps, it's making sure the clients are taken care of, making offers, the real work that pushes your needle forward, make your income. From 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock is follow up. Make sure you're always doing some follow up every single day with past clients or past agents or current agents and so forth. And then from 5 to 6, I eat. And then from 6 until 8 is follow back. This is checking my emails, checking my messages, making sure I did my contacts correctly, and so forth. And these are the 3 things I focus on the most after doing prospecting. And again, before bed, it is you time again. And then people say what you're grateful for, meal tracking, and so forth. And my phone, I literally have my reminders for everything: to eat, to walk my dog, to do my prospecting, to do my video creations, my masterminds, and so forth. That way I never miss anything. I live in my calendar, and I think it gives me more time in the day to actually have more results and more structure. Do all that make sense before I move on? Cool.
Yeah, and Jordan, you mentioned the phone as well. I put everything on my phone also and have that reminder just to remind me. And that works really well. That's my go-to, my phone.
I love it. Yep, I'm the same that way. And then another pro tip on that too is I create my plan before I go to bed. So at 8, 9 o'clock, I will get my journal out on my daily plan that I use, and I will put down my entire schedule on that point there too. Is this meeting, that meeting, this call, this World Social Mastermind, call this person, do that thing, do this contract. It's all in them. That way there's no guesswork. And then it all comes down to focus. Focus is the best way to have success in anything. And we have this focus, this to-do list. Actually, for that, you guys know my top 5 things I say to focus on every single day. You either pop in the chat or say it out loud with number you know.
Helping your current clients and agents.
Time attention is king.
Working on yourself and your business.
Got it. Super crucial.
Just trying to think off the top of my head.
Doing marketing and follow up, I think the social media.
Oh, testimonials.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Presentation, sales calls. Yeah, awesome, guys. I love it. All right, you guys are on track. So number 1 is time retention, as April said. And then having a sales meeting, what Derek said, is also super, super impactful. Honestly, to me, your most important job on this list, besides client retention, is sales meetings. Because how often have you seen people who had a client and then out of nowhere they changed their mind, or they didn't do what they said they're going to do, and now you're back on square one? Or an agent who's going to join your team and then change their mind, but all you have is that one person.
Hey.
You want to make sure you have a huge influx.
You okay?
What was that, Julie?
Oh, sorry, I'm not on mute.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
no worries. Yeah, so make sure you have the sales call as much as possible. Doing testimonials is really, really important. It gives you more respect, more authority. People want to listen to you moving forward by having that. I would post testimonials, either a video or a word one, to my social media accounts all the time. And then marketing and traffic, what anyone said, is also super important. So how you get more clients and stuff there too. And then, yes, working on yourself and your business. I'm always saying to you guys, if you want to have $1 million business or $1 billion business, you have to become $1 billion person. We cannot have a huge, huge business if we have a minimum wage activity or work habit. So make sure we're always building ourselves to our business builders too. We want to spend more time working on ourselves in our business because they're synonymous to each other, especially in all kinds of business. Any questions on this before I move forward? Perfect. And then here is our real estate success card for you. This will give you a proven, repeatable system to make 6 figures or more in real estate, I will easily make over 6 figures in the next 2-3 months alone by doing this system. So just imagine what you can do in a whole year doing this kind of thing. So number 1 is working on yourself. So 30 minutes every single day, either doing exercise, meditating, reading your goals, reading a book, listening to a book, journals, or gratitude sessions. And what I do as well is you have this cast out wheel. I have found out in psychology that it takes around 30 days to build a habit. So what I like to do is make it into a game. My new habit is how many days in a row can I go without missing a day by doing everything on this list. And if I miss a day, I'm back at day 1. So that 10 days, 100 days, 5 years, or 2 days. And my whole goal is to beat my numbers, how far I can go, how high I can take that. Number 2 is 20 touches a day. Same exact system with Monday through Sunday. Is adding value, making meetings, and cultivating relationships. This will be from calls, in person, email, social media, or text. And it's all about getting exposure for yourself. Obscurity is the number 1 killer of any business. It's like having an oasis in a desert. If no one knows about it, it's kind of useless to everybody else but you. Once you have those marketing touch points, people say, hey, oasis, 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 now it's really powerful. Make sure you're always having interactions every single day. And again, if you aim for 40 deals or 40 agents, that's only 11 people a day. So you do 20 a day, you even surpass that number for yourself too. So let me get some yeses down below if you guys don't commit to doing everything on this list. And then from those 20 people, you want to make sure that you have to add 5 names every single day to your CRM or to your phone. This could be from social media, networking, asking for referrals, events, or joining organizations or clubs. And that one is like tribe marketing. So for me, I'll probably end up joining Toastmasters again, because those people are leaders and normally super successful. You can join stuff for like baseball or basketball, whatever case you're into, or music like Derek. Joining clubs, organizations is really, really powerful for yourself. And once you have all these together, you want to build and maintain your top 100 prospects, but always be adding to that. These 5 names will go super, super far for you. And then this is going to be a weekly thing. So every single week, you want to have at least 1 buyer, seller, or investor presentation. So this is for a listing and for a buyer or for helping an agent. And also at least twice a week for one of the other ones is for agent attraction. Have 2 meetings. And for you guys, remember, we work for you. So bring them to us. If you have a prospect wanting to join your team, have a 3-way call with Mel and I, or Connor, or somebody else on our team, and we'll do it for you. We'll pitch them for you and add them to your team for you. It's kind of like having somebody go to a listing appointment, do the listing presentation for you, and then give you the client and also do the whole work afterwards and close it out for you too. Same thought process, but this is the only business I've ever seen with agent attraction and people that will work for you from start to finish. So definitely plug us into that. And then at least once a week, I would host an open house. I'll do an office or cloud meeting, a lunch and learn seminar. And for those of you who are in Austin, Texas, Julie, myself, and Mel will actually be doing these every single Friday at 2 p.m. probably, starting in October, having lunch and learns. So you can talk about EXP, bring your prospects there, have some drinks afterwards and some networking. And then build community tours is also really big. I would actually go to Del Valle and talk to them because they have a lot of properties they're trying to sell because of Tesla in Austin. Outside of Austin, in different states, all across the globe now, find a good community tour there too. Do broken opens to meet other agents and then pop in on a prospect. So you can either call one, or you can go to the house if you're that close to them, or you can do some kind of pop in on a prospect. And again, they pick one of these every single week to do. And then we saw down below, if your goal is to do 40 deals or per month, or 10 deals per month, or 5 deals per month, they have it there. Currently, what are you doing today? And they have your amount of you want to make in the next year. So if your goal is 250, add in this year's date until next following year, and keep track of this. All this sounds good? Makes sense? Good deal. And now it is all about wealth. I think this is the best way to help more people. I made a post actually a couple days ago. I'm saying if your goal isn't become super wealthy, then we're being selfish. Because with wealth, we help more people, make a bigger impact. And wealth and money is just a tool that lets us help more people and go to our top pinnacle. If you know what Maslow hierarchy of needs is, actually, do you guys know what Maslow hierarchy of needs are? Type yes and no in the chat. I'm actually going to show you guys what that is. So Maslow hierarchy of need is a profound thing I learned in college that speaks volumes on what we can do to help people and how our system breaks down. So there's only 5 levels, some say 6 levels on this. I'm trying to find this picture for you. Let's do this picture instead. So level 1 is physiological needs, such as air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction, all those things. We cannot have, oh, there we go. Is that better, guys? We cannot go to the next level to take care of that first one. Same for safety needs. Once we have that next level popped up for us, we move to the next one. So personal security, employment, resources, health, property, we need to have those in line. Once we have that baseline taken care of, we now go to the level of belonging. You see a lot of business people, especially, who will not be too big on having a big connection, friendships, and so forth, until they see that they have a good business and safety needs met first. After that is self-esteem, self-respect, status, recognition, strength, freedom. This is when we start getting into actually expressing ourselves, being more leaders, and so forth. We made it to that pinnacle. Now we're super excited for that. And then finally, you have self-actualization. This is designed to be the best we can be, help more people. And everyone you can look at on top of like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and so forth, don't start doing this last pinnacle until they're super wealthy. This is why wealth building is such a powerful thing. Help you get there as quick as possible and make sure you're understanding how this works. So do you guys know my 3 pillars for wealth building? It all been done. I'm so glad you liked it.
Did you ask what was the 3 pillars?
Yep. So do you
I
guys
remember one of them.
which one?
Leverage.
Mm-hmm. Any other one?
Scalability.
And duplication.
Yes,
Good.
exactly.
Good
Right.
deal. Yep. So the 3 pillars, the 3 crowns, I would say, inside of wealth building is 1, duplication, scalability, and leverage. And this is why entrepreneurship is such an amazing platform. EXP especially is an amazing platform. So with EXP Realty, you have huge opportunity for duplication, scalability, and leverage on one. Especially for team building. The bigger our team grows, my scalability is uncapped. Also for duplication, I can help teach you guys to be better leaders, to be better team builders. So the quote I'm always saying to you guys is I can give someone a fish and feed them for a day. I can teach somebody to fish and feed them for a lifetime. But what's even better is if I can teach somebody to fish, we can feed generations. This is why having this opportunity is so powerful for us. And then for leverage, the same thing. So this is a great way to think about wealth in any kind of avenue. If I'm doing investing, I much rather do apartment syndications because that's way more scalable, duplicatable versus buying this one home at a time. So I write this guys down is having this broken down for you to see, to remember yourself moving forward. And then the fourth one that I don't talk about a lot is actually your mind. This is the fourth pillar of wealth. And also I would say the middle core, if it's like a pyramid. This is a core that it all starts with the brain. We'll never become wealthy unless our mindset says we become wealthy. So make sure you guys have that down and understand this is the biggest point of having true wealth. It's like Napoleon Hill. You guys think it, see it before it actually happens. So who here is going to be wealthy? Let me see some yeses, some hands up, and so forth. So I believe all you guys can totally do this. A lot of hand raising, good deal. And now let's do some Q&A. I know it's a lot of information. So what questions you guys have I can answer for you on this?
Question. Could you,
I can definitely do that. So for scalability, this is going to be for team building, I'll use this example. I can scale team building as big as I want to, and my income will get larger, but my output is the same. So in a traditional business, my older one I had a marketing agency. For me to scale my marketing agency, I had to hire more people, which is more overhead. I have to do more clients, which is more work. So scalability there took more time. But with EXP if you guys build your own team, I'm scaling, but I'm still putting the same output out myself personally. So whenever you're doing any kind of business model, you want to see how can you scale it. This is why SaaS companies and technology companies are so powerful, because they can scale that super, super large. If my business model is me doing house flipping, it's hard to scale, but I need to hire a whole crew to do more house flipping with me. If I have a course or a book that I'm selling, I can go to the internet and pop it in there and it can scale as big as I want to. That makes sense? Good deal. Any other questions can answer for you guys?
And what was the fourth pillar again? The one you had with the dollar sign in the head?
Yep, the
Yeah.
fourth pillar is mindset. This
Mindset.
is the foundation, the core for wealth. It doesn't matter if I understand duplication, scalability, or leverage, if I don't have it in my mind that I'll be wealthy.
Right.
That's why I see a lot of people who are like NBA players or lottery winners who will be rich, and then 5 years later, they'll under a bridge because the mindset isn't developed. They don't have that down yet, which is why it's so important to work on yourself. Read books about financial literacy, about rich dad, poor dad, and so forth, and understand the mindset behind being wealthy. If you tell somebody that 20K a year is a lot of money, someone will say to you that 20K a day is a bad day, versus mindset. You have to expand that threshold. Does that make sense?
Yes, I remember Melanie speaking about the mindset shift. Is that to do with that, right?
Exactly. It all starts with the mind. My first 2 books I've published is all about mindset. Because for me, personal story, Most people who was molested as a child, who was homophobia and who had a terrible upbringing, normally end up doing the same thing. They're going to jail, they're womanizers, alcoholics, those all kinds of things. Not often you see people after having a terrible upbringing to become a successful person. Same story, there's a guy with a father, 2 kids with a father. The father is alcoholic. One kid grows up to be a huge success. The other kid, though, grew up to be alcoholic. And someone asked them, so like, why did you become so successful and why are you alcoholic? And both of them said the same answer, because my dad was an alcoholic. They're always mindset. One of them said, oh, he's alcoholic, I don't want to do that. This is my mindset to be not like him. The other one said, he's alcoholic, I'm gonna do it too, because that's what he saw as well. It all starts with the mind. You want to make sure you give your mind first to have this huge success afterwards.
So it all goes to the remember your why always, like you said last present. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. It all begins with why. What's your why? What's your goal? And who are you as a person? And on that point too, it's like, what number a year do you think is possible to make in money wise? So actually, I might say this right now. Let me know in the chat box below out loud. What number you think is possible to make a year?
Unlimited.
I love that, Dominique.
Yeah.
Any more? What's your threshold for what you think is possible?
I think it's the love about doing it. The more you like doing it, the more flow you will have. I mean, it's unlimited, like Dominic said. I mean, you just have to put your love in it, to that circulation, because money is the thing which needs to be circulated all the time too. So just a process, I think.
Exactly. So it's all energy. Everything in life, energy. Me speaking to you, vibrations, which is energy. Well, this is also energy. So our mindset, if you think about that too, there's some people who say, I cannot do team building because I'm a new agent, or I've done 0 transactions. But then people like Melanie, who's done 0 transactions, have one of the biggest teams, front lines in the company in her first year. It's a mindset that you can do that. Same for real estate. Some people say, well, I can't do a listing presentation because I'm new. But there's people out there who are doing luxury real estate the first month because the mind says I can do this. It all begins with the mind.
Of course, numbers matter sometimes. We have to start somewhere, but the goals you taught us, like 400 equals 4,000. We have to start from somewhere and then build up on it. It's been tested, like you said. So
yeah, exactly. You gotta start from somewhere. And like yesterday, what I mean with lawyers, and someone was saying how like they don't want to do commercial real estate because there's too many big fishes out there. And my thing is, there's big fishes everywhere you go to. It's all a mindset. You can do what you already want to. Just put in the work, put in the reps. Before you know it, you're the biggest thing on earth. Any more questions I can answer for you guys? Either on topic or off topic, either is fine.
I'm curious, what are some ways that, or some examples you could give of leverage in your business, some different ways?
That's a great question, Derek. So leverage is a lot of different ways. So I'll do some on both avenues for team building and for real estate. For real estate, leverage is hiring a photographer to do your pictures for you, not doing it yourself. That's leverage. Also, it could be hiring an action coordinator do the paperwork for you in the back office. That's more leverage. Hiring a stager could be leverage. Doing Facebook advertising is leverage. Now you're leveraging these big platforms or even Facebook groups and workplace and marketplace. I'm leveraging a platform, a service, an opportunity. For team building, the same thing is true. I can leverage a lender who knows agents who run my team with me to send me referrals. I can leverage my partners above me to help do my three-way calls. So for you guys, you can leverage me to build your team for you. You can leverage your personal team to help build through them. Network through the people you're already with, help them build their teams too. It's leveraging. So you can leverage both sides. And leverage is like on the pyramid you have there, it's part of the bottom side of the pyramid is leverage. And the scalability and duplication. Because you need to have leverage in any kind of business to become successful and really scale it and have duplication possible. And I much rather have 1% from 100 people than 100% from just myself. Because think about this. You know, they say hard work will never make you rich. If it did, people who are doing construction would be the richest people in the world. They're breaking their backs. But there's no leverage though. They're the one working, being leveraged by the business owner to do that. So always think about leverage and how you can kind of expedite your process, and don't get stuck in the mindset that you have to do it yourself. So you want to find people who are smarter and better than you, have them do it for you. Elon Musk is a great example of that. He's a smart guy, but he's like, I did not go to Harvard, but my employees did. He's leveraging people's mind success to help him build his company. And on the point of the royalty, the royal circle, the kings and queens, which you guys are leveraging the support of everybody to build a big empire so everyone's protected and taken care of. It all comes down with leverage. You can never build something super big without having this third pillar. Did I answer that question for you?
So plan on, do you think?
Awesome.
Plan on the week after? Or?
Any more questions? I have covered duplication too, since we covered these two as well. Duplication is big as well. If it does not duplicate, it does not matter. So there's people in the company who do team building, and their strategy is making YouTube videos and leveraging the big brand. So it's scalable for them. However, it's not duplicatable because if I'm really good on camera and public speaking and so forth, and people on someone else's team isn't, well, then it's not duplicatable. Which is why when we teach about agent attractions, like make a list, reach out to your list, and invite them to your upline, your people who are partners to do it for you, and that way it's duplicatable. So these systems here I can teach you, and it's duplicatable. You can follow this process, do it yourself, and there's no guesswork. And duplication is really, really big in terms of business. Same for like sales calls. If somebody has no script and is charismatic and is selling something to somebody, then that person becomes successful. But if he cannot teach somebody else to do that too, then his team of salespeople is not going to work out because there's no duplication there. Which is why books like Way to Work by Jordan Belfort, he realized I'm really good at selling stuff, but my team are not selling anything. I'm gonna make a script that works. Now, who you are, if you follow this, excuse me, you have a big success too. So these are 3 big pillars for success. Any more questions?
I have a question for you, Jordan.
What's
Can you
that?
hear me okay?
I can.
Okay. A lot of the times I feel like EXP has this rep about recruiting. How do you get over the huddle to talk to people without the expectation that, oh, she's just trying to recruit me?
I would say about adding value. So the funny thing is about EXP is all production numbers are leading the entire industry. So we're number one for like production for a lot of different aspects. And only 5% of people recruit, but they're recruiting the wrong way. They're just sending mass cold emails, cold texts, like, hey, join my team, do this kind of thing, which does work, but it's a numbers game. But if you come and adding value to them, making relationships a lot different. So like you and Mary connected, Dominique, and now we're all here together. Because we came in a place of value and like, hey, I want to help you. Like I'm here to serve you, to help you. That's what we're trying to do. The same is for team building too. And if they say, oh, I'm not hiring to switch my brokerage, oh, that's fine. I actually wasn't going to ask you to switch your brokerage. I was going to ask you to just have coffee and help you out and see what I can do for you. Because that happens to me all the time. And having that vet EXP is going to be there for a while. Then eventually it's going to stop. So when KW first came out, they were the same way. Everyone made fun of KW, thought it was a bad company, it was all about team building and so forth. And 10, 20 years later, people think KW is amazing, but because it took time for that to happen. The same is true for team building. I just come in a place of value, making connections, making relationships, commenting on their posts, on their stories, making video messages to them, and just having good follow-up. Then eventually they're going to see, oh, they really care for me, trying to help me out, and not just about team building, because you want to come in place of the servant to leader.
Dominique, do you mean internal like judgment about being a recruiter, or external, like you want when you're talking to someone and then they accuse you of being a recruiter?
So let me give you an example. Yesterday, I went to have breakfast with a realtor friend of mine, and I have a background in sales, but I'm a huge person about just being organic and authentic in your, approach. And she kind of slid in there that she was speaking to another agent and that talking about how I left my last brokerage. And the other agent was like, oh yeah, I heard she's recruiting people, which I don't even know this agent, but just because I was associated with EXP, they were like trying to warn her not to eat with me because I'm going to recruit her. But luckily I do have a relationship with her where she's like, she's doing good for herself. And she's the one that approached me originally about, joining EXP. But it was just interesting hearing that, and so I was like,
Yeah, so that's definitely going to happen on most cases. The mindset again. Like I saw a post in the group I'm part of, in the real estate mastermind group, like 100,000 agents in them. The post yesterday is like, hey, I work with Zillow. Who wants to get a free website and give me your questions? And that was allowed up there because it was just Zillow. We had someone talk about KW. Hey, I'm with KW. I want to talk to you about my business. I can help you build your business. And no one cared. They just gave comments. Now, if it was the EXP agent saying that, it'd be a lot different. But because people right now are intimidated by the company because they know that we're disrupting the industry and that we're kind of taking over everything. And again, the best way around it is two ways. Option one is what I do now is I just fully embody, yep, I am a recruiter. That's what I'm here to do. Because to me, I'm doing someone a favor and a service by some opportunity. Because no company is going to help you pay $50,000 of your health bill for you because they don't offer health care. No company is going to give you an opportunity to make passive income that pays for your life or give you stock and so forth. So to me, I'm doing a favor and a service by being a recruiter. It's not an ugly word. And looking at the word, that is a respectable career. The other option is to come face with this value and service. Like, hey, think we want to, but I genuinely want to help people. That's what I'm trying to do. And people would judge us on what we do. If you could learn how to walk on water or to fly, someone will say to you, oh, Dominic's just too cheap to buy a plane ticket. That's why she's flying by herself without having one. So that is something's gonna happen no matter what. That's why mindset is so important. That's just part of the process. And eventually, in success especially, what normally happens is first they laugh at you, and then first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they hate you, and then they love you. It's like the 4 steps to it.
And then they'll ask you how you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you hiring? I love that. Does that
Well,
help?
you know, in my sorry. I agree with that. I was just thinking like technically all brokerages are recruiters. They can hire somebody to recruit on their team. So I mean that's the conversation I had. It was like, well, yeah, I mean, if I'm passionate about who I love working with and the offerings that I feel that are achieving success not for me, but for all other agents, then why wouldn't I get more people like me on the same team? But then, you know, just thinking about it, I'm like, literally every brokerage are recruiters. And for some reason, EXP is just, is it? Because it's probably because we get paid for it. But, you know, anyways.
Yeah, and it's cognitive dissonance. You know, people believe that to be an agent, I'm just selling houses. That's what I do, and that having a mindset of building wealth is in a real estate mind. They don't know about duplication, scalability, or leverage, most of them, and they think like a employee, not a business owner. So when you plug that into what we're doing in EXP, it's like I am trying to help them have a better life. And if they judge you or not, it's fine. Just realize that, like you said, Dominique, brokerages are recruiters. And even at brokerages like Coldwell, if you bring on your friend to come to the company, they will give you either a pat on the back or a $5 gift card to Starbucks. Instead of recruiting, everyone recruits. Now, who you're at. Because most people, oh, I'm an agent, my friend's an agent now too. Come join my company and work with me. Just EXP get compensated for it. And I think eventually that person will probably end up joining because it's not about if they're joining, it's when they're joining.
And also in that situation, like you can be like, why do you think she said that to you? Like, do you, you know, it's your, like, does she think that you're not capable of making a good business decision for yourself? Or, you know, like not saying it like that, but seriously being like, why do you think she was warning you about that? Because it says so much more about her and her feelings than it does about you. She's just like pointing fingers and trying to paint you as like the bad guy, but for no reason. Like, is she scared that you're going to leave? And then like, people are always defensive of their decisions. So like if she has already decided that EXP is bad, but someone that she respects joins EXP, then she's gonna be like, oh my God, again, like Jordan was saying, it's a cognitive dissonance. So there's a couple ways, you know, I think you handled it super well, being like, yeah. And if you love it and it's changed your life, like I have told a million people about the EXP healthcare, and it's not because I'm even trying to recruit them. It's because I'm so passionate and grateful that they saved us so much money. And I talk to agents every day that are uninsured, and this is like a real solution for them. So why would I, like, if someone wants to try to call me dirty names or whatever, which recruiter isn't even a dirty name, but like, I'm coming from a place of love because I want to help more people. And if they can't see that, again, that's more about them than it is about me or you.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, Melanie, especially after the a brief video I saw yesterday. I think Julie reposted that. I think you guys had it on your mastermind with Connor. He had a very funny video about EXP and how the brokers and other firms were looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, or maybe I saw it at Jordan's, I don't know. So I would just think of that.
Mm-hmm. And the big thing too is 2 parts for what I said before. Like there's the 5 levels of success. And number one is they annoy you, and then they laugh at you, and then they hate you, and then they ask, they love you, and then how can you hire me too? There's the 5 steps. So it's happening on a personal level as business owners in EXP, but also on a big level as a company. So the company is also experiencing that same 5 levels. And before you know it, we'll be at the 4th and 5th step, like, hey, I'm coming with me too. Right now, we're on the okay, I hate you level or I laugh at you level. We'll be full on, it's going to be a total switch. Be like, I'm going to join you too because I see what you're doing there and lives are being changed. And I know it's possible. Like, and this part of the process. And when I first joined EXP, Dominique, I felt the same way. Like, man, the difficult part about being this amazing company is that the agents automatically will not be favorable towards me because I'm with this company. But then I realized I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it for myself and for my family and for people on my team. And that's kind of my mindset. Like, I'm doing it for helping us do it and not for that person that I don't even know. Yeah.
You just have your goal. You just go to your goal without, being, trying to deal with those issues. They will drain you.
Yeah, exactly. You can't explain an opportunity to somebody who does see opportunities. Like, if you try to tell somebody who's small-minded about a solution or a problem, they'll have an answer for every problem. Does that help, Dominique?
Yeah, I was just curious to see how y'all handle just the stigma or people not even wanting to connect with you just because you're with a specific brokerage. Which is why I do agree of like, sharing your why and understanding, who you're on the team with really makes or breaks a decision, which is why, we're doing that podcast. Because I think, like you got to see past sometimes the brand and see who the people are behind the scenes. And so I was just wondering. So thank you.
Yeah. Another point to how I handle it personally is I'm really good at annoying the haters. Not so I like the haters. I mean, I'm on the right track. If no one's hating on me, that means I'm not doing enough. So that's one thing I do. But also number 2, it's like if I am trying to do marketing and I speak to everybody, I talk to nobody. I'm looking for the people who want to be found. For the people right now who are at a brokerage and they hate the brokerage, one of the 2, they want to switch. They want to leave and they don't know what's out there. And to me, it's my responsibility to show them, hey, here's a better way. If I know the cure for cancer, best believe I'm gonna talk about rooftops saying, hey, I have the cure for cancer. Come over here, I got your back. Same for EXP. Like, I was screaming from the rooftop because it changed our lives. And I want people to have the same opportunity. So for the haters or people who are like the stigma, I just kind of ignore it and let that even be a fuel to prove them wrong. Like, hey, we're missing out. Like, you want to see what could have been different if you had joined us 1 year ago, 5 months ago, and so forth. And it's focusing more on people who won't be helped by us, and other people looking for us. Be that lighthouse that attracts people to you. And eventually, before you know it, that people on the wayside as you fall in the darkness. Any more questions or thinking a little deeper on for you? All right. Remember, yes, so kings and queens, the abundance is your birthright. Thank you all for being here. If you have more questions, let me know before we hop off on this. I do this all for you. And I love helping you guys as much as I can.
Thank you. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Melanie. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful day.
Happy
Happy birthday again.
Thank you as
Happy
always.
birthday. You're welcome. My pleasure, my pleasure. We'll see y'all soon. Also, make sure you guys go to EXPCon as well. If you have not already booked your tickets, definitely check that out. Also, we want to get Airbnb and have it split between everyone who's going to save a lot of money for all of us, but also an opportunity to mastermind, collaborate, and stuff while we're in Las Vegas for EXPCon in November 9th until 11th. So hope to see y'all there. All right, talk to you soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Derek.